Live with Dylan, 18-year-old day trader, and your boy Rich. And we're talking stocks for tomorrow, April 8th, 2019. Now my question is, will you be trading naked? That's the question. Will you be trading naked tomorrow?
Oh, of course.
So, have you tried trading?
I don't know. I might not be able to trade naked in school. I don't know. I might be in school when I'm trading tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see what kind of day it turns out to be.
You know, this whole concept of trading naked has kind of gotten like really crazy, right? It's blown up. So, what do you think about it? You think that this is something that people could kind of rally around worldwide and people start trading naked every day because it works? Like you're uninhibited, you got no like inhibitions, you got like nothing holding you back. You're just free, you're natural, and you can allow your brain to just to focus on the winners, you know?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I mean, honestly, I think it's great, and it's a great concept. It's something to get around. I mean, we'll be known for it worldwide soon enough.
And it's crazy because like guys can trade naked, girls can trade naked, and most people are trading naked from their own home. I mean, like right now, you could be trading naked from your backyard, right? And you could be tanning while making money. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I don't see an issue with it. I think it's great. I think it's revolutionary, actually.
I mean, if you can date naked, like I think that's way weirder than trading naked, isn't it? Yeah, like they're actually dating naked, like you're dating naked, like there's no more mystery. Isn't that kind of like ruin the whole date? Like I already now know what you look like, so then it's like there's all the mysteries gone. Throw that all out the door, you know.
It makes it better. It keeps you away from those surprises. You know, like 3 months in, you finally see it, and you're like, oh.
So let's talk about next week. So next week, tomorrow, April 8th, 2019, we had a crazy week. We've had a crazy last 3 weeks where our community, especially on Telegram, has been finding winners like nonstop, like 3, 4, 5 a day, right? Like every day for the last 3 weeks, and a lot of people have been winning. And our community and our channels changed. It's gone from like entertainment and education to like actually a financial platform where people are actually winning. And now we even have a trading academy that we're working with where members are joining and getting real coaching. And now we're using level 2 market depth. So we've stepped up our game.
Oh, absolutely.
And we're going to continue to. What do you think about this evolution? Like you're 18 years old, you're a trader, you see all these picks coming in. Like for a young investor, how does it feel? Like I'm 41, you're 18. We're totally different sides of the spectrum. You're getting started in trading. I've been trading for like 20 years. But I feel like you're learning at a fast pace, bro. Like you're learning, like probably you've probably cut like what I did in 20 years. You could cut that into like 1 year because I feel like we're just taking all this knowledge and we're just like putting it in one place, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's actually made things a lot easier. I mean, the one thing I've always learned is to do due diligence, but the way we're using these tools and stuff and people are setting the due diligence in there and we're just kind of getting to look at it and it's like, at this point, like you don't even have to go too far out of your way. And I think that it makes it a lot easier and like it's easy to learn like how people are gaining this information with the level 2 platform. And I use Thinkorswim. I'm a big fan of it. I think it's very nice to be able to look at charts. I would say the most important part that I've learned so far is looking at the charts. And I would say that it's definitely a learning curve, but I think it can be picked up pretty fast.
Do you think that, okay, so when you say you look at charts, what type of charts? Can you give an example of charts that you're going to be using tomorrow? Or like what indicators do you use? What accounts do you use? Can you give some examples for people that are new that want to learn?
Yeah, so when I first like look at my stocks and everything, when I see picks and stuff, I like to take a look at the company as a whole. I like to look at the market cap. I like to look at all that. I like to look at their news. And I kind of want to do like a basic Google search and just gain like some basic knowledge about the company. And then I go from there, I kind of look at the 1 year chart to see if this is a stock that's being actively traded or if it had a reason to not be, if the volume's very low on it. And then once I think that it's like a good pick or it's already having a good day, from a day trading perspective, I'll switch over to a 1 day, 1 minute chart. And I'll kind of take a look at where it's going throughout the course of a day to kind of look where I can hop in at and kind of just coast and get some money.
Very nice.
profit.
And can you give some examples of some picks that you may have day traded with over the last few weeks?
Yeah, I can actually pull that up. I like that RBZ. I think that's what it was. That thing blew up. That was fun to trade. I can pull up my account here. I'll see what I've actively traded in the past couple of days.
So Claudia is asking about IGNG. Did you buy IGNG?
Yeah, so I actually had some shares in IGNG. I didn't go all in with it because I wasn't 100% sure. I mean, it looks good and it looks like a deal that's going to go through. But because it is OTCQB, so I did like that about it. But what I didn't like was that it was kind of like an all or nothing shot. You know what I mean? But in my opinion, I think the deal goes through, and I think we're going to be handed a great company, and I think it's going to make us a lot of money. For those that are holding the shares right now, for those looking to invest in, I think what is it, GBI? Is that the company that they're transitioning into?
Yeah, Grapefruit Boulevard Investments.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at their building overview, their kind of plan and everything, and I'm a big fan of what they're doing. If all goes as planned, then I think this is going to be a great company and a fantastic investment. I mean, at this point, I mean, any prices that you got in right now could be great. I don't really think that if this deal goes through, I think that any price that your average share price is at, I really don't think that would be an issue. I think that we're going to make some good money when that goes through.
Yeah, I think, they've put out some news saying that they're already working with the company and they're already starting to do business. So you would anticipate that they're going to find a way to get the deal done. I don't see how the deal falls through at this point. I think the deal goes through. I think it's going to be interesting because IGNG had a crazy week. I mean, they went down to 12. I think 12 was the bottom from what I remember. And I don't know if it hit 11 or lower, but I remember 12. Looking at 12 thinking, oh man, I wanted to buy 10,000 shares. I was going to buy 10,000 shares. I didn't. And then I saw it go back to 25 cents and I was like, oh my goodness, I got to double my money in like a day, 2 days. And then I saw it finish back around 2021 on Friday. So, it's a crazy stock because we've seen it go from, Sergio brought it to us when it was at 2 cents. He bought it at 3. We've seen it go as high as 35. Then we've seen it go back to 12. Then we've seen it go back to 25. Now it's back down to 21. So I'm like, yo, this thing's a roller coaster. So it's scary, right? Like it's a very risky stock. It goes up and down. It has a lot of volatility, right?
But what I would say as a day trader, I mean, I think that's perfect. I think volatility is great. That's what we look for. And I think in terms of holding it overnight and seeing what will happen, I think that's a different story. But like you were saying, I mean, they're pumping out a lot of news. They dropped that once the deal goes through, they're going to hit the ground running pretty much. So I think it looks good. Honestly, I mean, I was faithful enough to put some money in it. I put like $100 in it as a joke, and then I like looked at it later in the week, and I noticed that as the deadline started getting closer, more and more people were starting to buy into it. And so I was like, I kind of took that as a little bit of confirmation that it wasn't just me that thought this was going to happen. So I put a little bit more money in it. So we'll see where it goes, I guess.
Absolutely. There's so many picks. Everyone's throwing picks at us. So let's go through some of the picks. So Cherry Bomb wants to know about VYST. We talked about IGNG and then MXXM. I'm not familiar with MXXM.
I wonder if she means GXXM.
I believe she means GXXM. I was just going to say that. So we'll talk about that. So VYST, real quickly, I'll give you my opinion on that. I bought it. I didn't even know what it was. I looked into it. It was a latex condom company or some shit. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to hold this. So I sold it, and then it went up from 6 cents to 8 cents last week, and I felt kind of stupid. And then members within our community are like, Rich, it's going up. Why'd you sell it? I was like, it's a latex condom company. Like, I don't know. I don't feel for this deal. Like I had no feel for the deal. Mind you, it's going up. So who knows? It might keep going up. It's going up. So it's crazy. And then GXXM, my opinion is I have 700,000 shares. They have $8 million in revenue. They have a very tight float, only 1.3 million shares. And it's trading under a penny at half a penny right now, or even less at 0.004. So I got 700,000 shares. I probably chased it. I bought it way too high, 0.005. But, I kind of threw it in there as like a lottery ticket. Said I took a stock that I was down on, that I bought by mistake, and I was down quite a bit on. I took my loss, and then I took that money and I put it in GXXM. And I thought to myself, if this can go to a penny and then I can double my money. Even if I have to wait a little while, I don't mind. If this goes to a penny, I'll sell it, and then I'll double my money, and I'll make my money back on a stock that I was down 50% on that I bought by mistake. So I'm going to take hopefully a negative and turn it into a positive, but the mistake I made was I chased GXXM and bought it too high. It went higher on Friday. I was up $300. I was live. I was trying to sell at 0056 on the offer. I didn't want to hit the bid. Stupid. I should have hit the bid, and I didn't, and then it went down, and now I'm down like $800 on GXXM. But I think it's going to go back up on Monday. I'm hoping it will. What do you think about those stocks, or do you have an opinion on those stocks?
I haven't really done too much research on them, but from what I've seen and all the DD that I have seen in the Telegram group and everything, and I want to say that again, the Telegram group is great. There's a lot of interesting, great DD in there. But I think that stock is going to keep going up. I think that that's in a great position. I mean, it's another one of these unique opportunities. I mean, we're seeing a lot of RTOs. We're seeing like reverse mergers. We're seeing a lot of like unique opportunities come up. And like, I think they provide like great investment opportunities if you play them right.
I agree with you. I think that we're in a very magical time for investing, and this is the time where we can like really try to get in cash, guys. Stay in cash and put a good portion of your money in cash so that if a crash ever comes, you're not going to get affected. And instead, if a crash ever comes, what you can do is you can buy at the bottom. And that's really what I'm trying to realize myself as an investor is we need to be very strategic, and we need to be buying when they're down and selling when they're up. And if we can get really good at that, we can beat this market. I really believe we can. And it's hard to say that. I know that 98% of investors fail, but I feel like our community is not normal. I feel like we're staying in our lane and we're finding winners. And I find that when you ride momentum, it doesn't matter what's happening in the market. Like if you're staying in cash and you just ride momentum, there's always going to be deals going up in the market. Even in a crash, there will always be stocks going up. But if you're holding stock, then you're always at risk of a crash. Yeah, always. Same with real estate. If you hold real estate, you're always at risk of a crash.
Yeah.
But if you're holding cash, cash is king and you're protected. You know, you're a young guy, you're 18. If you start learning that now, I tell that to my children now. You know, I try to tell that to our community now. Like, if you guys understand this, and every time the housing market crashes, that's when you buy. Okay? And every time the stock market crashes, that's when you buy. Instead, everyone's panicking. They're like, oh my God, they're running away. They're giving the keys to the bank. No. You go to the bank, you're like, I'll take those. You know? I'll take those. You know, when they auction those houses, you'll be like, yeah, I'll have those. Thank you. You rent them out. And then, as soon as the market comes back 5 years later, you just doubled your money. That's the way it works. Even oil is a great example. Oil was all the way down. Everybody was panicking. And I was looking at it, I was like, yo, this is the time to buy. And it's come back up. It went from $40 to 60.
Yeah.
So it's up 50% in like a month, 2 months to start 2019. This is how you trade. You buy low, you sell high. This is how you buy and sell real estate. You buy low, you sell high. So when everybody's panicking and everybody's like, oh, the market's down, that's the time to buy. And when everybody's like, oh my God, everything is so expensive, that's the time to sell. Right now, a lot of stocks are expensive, man. A lot of stocks are expensive. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find the ones that are cheap. Some of the ones that are cheap that the membership wants to ask about and talk about that I'm interested in, that I own and I'm looking at, that I want to know your opinion are Zenabis, Zena, Z-E-N-A. I own 3,645 shares. ZBISF in America. I believe they're nearing a bottom. I've been buying them. I actually met a member of the company this weekend. His son plays on my son's soccer team. And he's telling me that, and I said to him, I go, our community's talking about it. Like, once you guys start showing revenue, this thing's going to fly. And he's like, man, I can't say nothing. But he's like, I'm not allowed to buy. That's what he said to me. He goes, Rich, I'm not even allowed to buy it. He goes, I want to buy it right now at these prices, but I'm not allowed to buy it. That's all I can tell you. And I was like, bro, that's all you got to say, man. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm loading up, man. I'm going to load up. This bad boy is a beast. So I don't know if you're looking at Zena, but I really like it. It's a great company, but they're pre-revenue right now. Their revenue is it's just getting started. But they're building like a 3.5 million square feet in facilities. They do have some revenue generating facilities. It's just getting started. So is Zena on your radar at all?
Zena is kind of on my radar. I've been paying attention to it. I've been checking out the news. I mean, I've been looking at him ever since. I think, was it at the airport you like met the CEO or something?
No, that wasn't a
Is that
CEO. That was one of the members of the company. He's an employee. He may be a director. I have to look into that, but I'm not sure. But I know that he's definitely very heavily involved in the company. But yeah, that was weird. For me, I was like, yo, that was a sign. I was like, yo, I'm live streaming, and Zena just met me at the airport. That wasn't planned. That wasn't orchestrated. That was totally like just, I don't know, meant to be, like a sign. That was meant to be. That was a sign. And that was when I was like, yo, I got to buy this stock. I swear. I was like, yo, this was a sign from the stock gods. Like, yo, Rich, buy this stock. And I was hunting it. When I met him at the airport, it was at like $6. It's come down to $2. And I didn't buy it. I kept saying to myself I was going down. I'm like, yo, I'm going to watch it go down. And I saw it go down from like $6 to $5 to $4 to $3. Now they're at like $2. I'm like, yo, this is a gift from the gods.
Yeah, I think it's a great buying opportunity, to be honest.
I do. I'm telling you, I've been to their facility, bro. I'm telling you, those guys are tight. They're tight. Like, oh, Rich, before you go in this room, you got to fingerprint here, sign this, scan this, put on gear, clothes, everything. Like, vault, security, like locked gates, like everything tight. I was like, yo, football fields of grow space. Football fields of grow space. I got to go there and do more videos. Like, I didn't even do a good video. I didn't explain how big it was. It was so big, it was blowing my mind. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, when these guys are growing all these facilities, they took 3.5 million square feet of vegetable farmer greenhouse. And they've converted it into cannabis. They haven't even done it yet. They're just converting it. Once it's converted and it's all cannabis, do you know how many millions, like billions, is going to be made? It's going to, bro. They're set up to be one of the biggest companies in the world, and nobody knows them. Nobody's heard of them except for us because we talk about them. Their U.S. stock doesn't even trade. It has like no volume. ZBISF. Look at the volume. It's a joke. Nobody knows. I'm telling you, nobody knows. I'm just saying. That's all I can say.
We're at a great time. I mean, honestly, we're literally like nothing. Like, in a lot of places, cannabis isn't even legal, but you're seeing notions like that are starting to make it become legal. So everyone's like still getting set up. Like, we're investing in companies that are still like considered like startups and stuff. And I think that they're already growing, and like there are good companies that are already showing revenue. But like this is just the beginning.
Absolutely.
Like, a lot of companies that are below $10 or below $20 are gonna be like big companies.
You know,
and they're like,
it's funny you say that, young gun, because I'll be honest with you. I was having a conversation last night with Joe, one of the members of our community, and Joe's a very big investor in T-God. He got in at 50 cents pre-IPO, okay? So he owns like 50,000 shares. So do the math. I mean, that's a lot, right? At $4, that's like 200 grand just of T-God, right? I was arguing with him because yesterday he was saying he wants to sell his T-God and he wants to buy Aurora. And I'm like, bro, I don't know if that's a good idea.
I don't know.
I'm like, I love T-God. And he's like, no, you know, T-God's this, T-God's that. And I'm like, bro, I don't know, man. T-God's going to explode, man. I'm like, I just think it's going to explode. It's so cheap. And they're building this ridiculous facility in Quebec. It's ridiculous. I saw the video yesterday. It's the same thing. It's like football fields and facility. It's like, wow. You know, like when that thing's going, it's going to be so big. It's like Aurora Sky, right? They're building like an Aurora Sky type facility. So I just think T-God is going to be so big, and they're so cheap. Like in America, it's like $3. In Canada, it's $4.
Yeah, it's $3 here. And honestly, it's interesting too, because I remember I was talking at I was at like a family dinner or something, and I brought up like how I was investing or whatever. And my uncle was like, oh, like you're in the cannabis space a little bit. Like, what are you investing in? I was like, well, what are you investing? And he told me that one of the stocks he made like quite some good money on was T-God. And I think that's interesting that he knew about that. And there was like multiple people like my work too that are aware of the situation too. And like I think like but it's like a small portion of people that know about it now. Like, think about it when everything goes mainstream and a lot of things get legalized, like cannabis and everything gets worldwide legalized. I mean, it's going to be through the roof. It's going to be nuts because we're going to see like companies like Aurora and like Afria that are expanding into all these places. They're going to start generating like crazy amounts of revenue from all these places. It's going to come all together as like one big picture. I think it's going to be,
I think we are having some technical difficulties. Dylan, I think because you're outside, we lost the internet because you're outside. I think we were having some technical difficulties, but you're back. So let's go through a couple more picks here. So T-God, I love it. I'm just putting it out there. Absolutely love it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you. Let's talk about some more. So another pick that I bought last week and I sold was Sugar Bud Craft Growers, SUGR in Canada. And another one that I bought last week, I bought 10,000 shares of that at 20, sold at 27, and then it went back down to 20. So I was very happy about that trade. And then Agra, so I don't hold stocks, guys. And then Agra, I bought 5,000 shares of them, and I really like them. So members are asking about them. So I really like both of those stocks. I will be day trading them, and I'm literally just going to day trade them, guys. I'll buy them low, I'll sell them high. I'll be flipping them all the time. In and out, in and out, in and out, buy low, sell high. I'll just keep doing it over and over and over again. That's how I trade. Do you have an opinion on Sugar or Agra? Do you like either of them?
I haven't really been looking at. I mean, I've been kind of my opinion on trading right now is I've been like strictly like looking at the day trading. I mean, I've been looking at like massive volatility, and those stocks have actually hit my radar. I haven't had a chance to really look into them like a crazy amount, but I've been looking at stocks that are going up like insane amounts during the day and kind of seeing why this is happening. And I think that once we figure out like why this is happening, like what type of news and like rumors are driving these things, I think that we can keep getting ahead of the game, and we can keep getting these stocks before they do it, and we can get in and get like that massive return. But back to Sugar, I mean, I have to do some research on it, but I like it. I think that's a good investment.
Well, Sugar is, a very good question. The Real Arab is asking about Sugar potentially doing an RTO. And that's one of the reasons why I bought Sugar. But I was up and I had to take the profits. And I think a lot of other people did too. The stock went up and then it came back down. But it's still, got a lot of momentum. They're in the process of potentially doing an RTO. Obviously, we've seen RTOs explode recently. That's why I have a lot of interest in Sugar. Agra is a beast, and they're partnering with a lot of big companies, and they're building, I think it's a 2 million square foot facility that's already fully funded. So I really like big companies that are going to be revenue generating, that are trading cheap. I do. That's kind of my thing. And then with a tight flow, I look at the flow, and if it's reasonable, I'm always interested. So just put those on your radar, like even if you're not buying them, just watch them,
You want to watch them. See what's going on. And like the RTOs and everything, I mean, like I was saying before, it's a great opportunity. I mean, it's like one of those really unique opportunities that we're only going to see right now in this era where cannabis is starting to become like an industry. I mean, once it becomes like a full industry, we're not going to see that type of like that activity, because pretty much when you're buying an RTO, I mean, you're buying a deal before a deal, pretty much.
That's correct.
And you're not going to really see these prices or like opportunities like this. I mean, because they'll just IPO as like something like how Lyft did. It'll be like similar to that. It won't be like it'll be more grand scale. Right now, we're able to get in on these when it's small and make a lot of money. And I think it's a great opportunity because it's a new industry. Yeah,
because you look at Amazon, you look at Facebook, they don't go up 30% a day. They go up more like 1% a day. So so like if you're looking to make money, those are more like a long-term investment opportunity. Whereas like for a day trader, we love the stocks that are going up 100%, 200%, 300%, 500%. Because you can easily find 10% in the day on something like that. So if you're trading with any significant amount of money, like even $1,000, if you can get 10% within a run, you make $100. $100 a day, that's a job. That's a normal job, right? So, you do that a couple times a day as a day trader, and we're able to find 3, 4, 5 of those a day. You do that a couple times a day, you can make $400 a day. And that's ultimately what we talk about in our Telegram is making $400 a day, $2,000 a week, $100,000 a year. Having a whole bunch of people making $400 a day minimum. And then once we learn to make $400 a day, then we can eventually learn to make $500 a day, $600 a day, $800 a day, $1,000 a day. $1,000 a day, that's $350,000 a year. You know, like now we're talking big money, you know, like if you don't count weekends, that's like 300 grand a year. So, you know, we go to take it to the next level. If we want to make, you know, $4,000 a day, that's like $1 million a year. You know, like these are the goals that we want to be able to set for ourselves, but we got to take baby steps. We got to learn to crawl before we walk and walk before we run. And one of the things that I've seen that's happened with our community is we've started to win because we're staying in that focus of the winners. We're not focused on the losers, we're focused on the winners. And if we do focus on losers, we're looking for good companies that are beat down, that are dirt cheap, right? And these are the companies that I'm like watching every day on my radar. Like a couple of those that I want to talk to you guys about actually are Namaste and Huge. Two companies that I think that have been beaten down a lot and I think that have a lot of upside. Another two that I believe could explode are Rivers and AUSA. Because Rivers is Canopy Growth 2.0 and it's kind of like Canopy Growth's opportunity in America, which is going to be so big. And AUSA is Aurora Cannabis 2.0 and it's Aurora Cannabis's opportunity in America. So I just see them being so big and it's our chance to get in those early as if we were wanting to get in Canopy Growth and Aurora early. Now we have that chance. What do you think about that? Do you agree with me?
Now that I think is fantastic, and I think it's only a matter of time until, I mean, a lot of people in the presidential race right now are actually like, they're using that as ways to kind of get votes. They're trying to, they're saying like, oh, I'll legalize cannabis, I'll do this, I'll decriminalize it, I'll do this. And it's like, it's really exciting for investors because we're getting to see, we already know what happened with Canada. Like we already saw all the things that happened. And I think there's a bigger market for it in the US because it's just bigger. And I think that we're going to see a lot of crazy things going on. So now that we kind of know what to expect because we watched legalization happen once, we're going to see it again. And I think that it's interesting because Aurora's all connected with AUSA and BMMJ and all that stuff. Like actually James just said it right there. Hold that. But I think it's really interesting, and I think that's going to provide great investment opportunities. And then we're going to be able to get in before these deals are even like huge things. We're going to be able to, and like we know what to expect because we've done it before and we made great money off it before. So I mean, I'm really excited for the future. I think that's a great thing. And I think that all the U.S. positions right now are actually not like too far from being like awesome. I think that they're all awesome. And we just got to pick through we got to pick through it and see what's going to be the best of the best. But I really think for all the U.S. opportunities, I think they're all pretty good. And I'm excited to see how they all play out.
I think that one of the messages here from James McLeod is Aurora is AUSA and BMMJ. So BMMJ is another one that I bought and sold this week. It's another one that Sergio has been buying and making a killing on. BMMJ is BAMM in Canada, BMMJ in America. You guys should put them on your watch list. Aurora is AUSA and BMMJ. Aurora owns a big piece of BMMJ, guys. Okay? And Aurora is AUSA. So Aurora is those three symbols. So if you're buying BMMJ and AUSA, you're buying a piece of Aurora too. So you need to understand that like these companies are getting so big and Aurora has so many shares. So what they're doing is they're branching out and saying, okay, let's focus on building a few other entities, right? Because they're understanding that they want to be a first mover and they're such a monster. So why not have a whole bunch of entities? And then they've got all these other companies under their umbrella, like 40 companies under their umbrella that they can go to and say, hey guys, you guys want to buy some stock in our next company? Hey, you want to buy some stock in our next company? And all these other guys are like, hell yeah. And that's why we're seeing BAM explode.
Yeah, it's exploding.
It's exploding. And another one that these guys want to talk about is PREV. PREV has exploded, guys. PREV had some news. They've come off a bottom. So keep PREV on your radar. Keep it on your watch list. I believe there's going to be more upside in them as well. And
it's interesting. They put out big news, but then they retracted it because I think their numbers were wrong.
They didn't retract the news. I believe they had to retract some of the information on the news.
That's what I mean, like some of the information, yeah. So that's
It was
another
similar.
interesting.
It was similar to MMS, to MacArthur Minerals, how they did that. So
Yeah,
I still believe there's going to be upside there. I still think there's going to be upside there. I think it went down a lot. I think we could see PREV go over. I've seen it before. Where they make a run over 10 cents. I think we could see them go on a run, but I think they will come back down. So I wouldn't hold that stock. That's
Yeah,
my
I
own
would
opinion.
definitely take
It
profits.
it would just
That's another good thing.
it would just be a day trade, like an in and out move, you know. Daniel Doss is asking about Tilt. Tilt is going to be reporting revenue. I think Tilt has the chance to be just a monster. The only thing I don't like about Tilt is they're going to have massive revenue, guys, so keep your eye on Tilt. But the only thing I don't like about Tilt is that they just don't have a lot of volume, and that worries me. So that's my fear with Tilt. But that's similar to Zenabis. Zenabis doesn't have a lot of revenue. But I believe that when Zenabis Zenabis doesn't have a lot of volume. I believe once Zenabis gets a lot of revenue, then we will see the volume follow. And I believe with Tilt, once their revenue is reported, I believe we could see their volume start to skyrocket.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are in the same situation. I think a lot of people are kind of looking at Tilt and they're like, I don't know. I want to see revenue first. I want to see this first before I even go near it. I think a lot of people have their eye on it, but I just think the reason for the low volume is because of they just want to see how it plays out and how the revenue looks. I think you're right. After we see that revenue, we're going to see a huge increase in volume.
I think it's going to be exciting to watch. Now, Joe, hey Joe, thank you guys. Joe is watching and he's asking about MGX Minerals. XMG is the symbol. They are a mining company. He believes in them. They've made a run to over $2. They've come back down. I've actually bought the stock when it was under 10 cents. It went to $2. What's that?
You know what they're at now?
I think they're at like 30 cents, something like that. Last time I looked. I'm not personally buying it. It's a very volatile stock. It goes up and down like crazy. I know Joe bought it. It went up. He's holding it. I know it ran to 270. What's it at right now, Joe? 25 cents. So it's at 25 cents. It's ran to 270. So these are the kind of guys, they make it run, you know, but they go up and down. So be very careful. It could go back down to 10 cents, guys. I bought this thing under 10 cents before, and I sold it. I didn't think it was going to run to 270. I would have done really well if I had 10,000 shares. Oh, my God. So I don't want to talk about it. It hurts. But, you know, yeah. So these things happen, and that's the markets, right? But, yeah, if you look at their chart, they've been under 10 cents, and they've been as high as 270. So if you want to see a volatile stock that's getting close to the bottom, XMG is definitely one that is entering a bottom. Another one that Joe likes, we could talk about, is OSCAN. Joe, you want to drop the symbol of OSCAN? Joe's bothering me about buying OSCAN. He's like, Rich, OSCAN. OSCAN went up 10% on Friday. It's an Australian cannabis company. Keep it on your radar. Keep it on your watch list, guys. It could be another one that could run, and it's been crashing near a bottom. ACNFF is the symbol. Thank you, Joe. Some of these guys are saying that Kronos Group might be acquiring MedMen. I believe MedMen is a buy. I own 1,000 shares of MedMen. I love MedMen. I believe they may be one of the most undervalued companies in the entire sector. I think it could run to $10 pretty easily. What do you think about MedMen?
Yeah, I think that's poised to make a run too. I've been keeping my close eye on that. I think that's at a really good price right now, actually. And I'll get us a live price. Do you know what it's at right now? I'll look it up.
I think it's around $4. I bought 1,000 shares at $4.15. It bounced around $4.15 to I think $3.98 all week. I was watching like a hawk. I think it finished around between $4 and $4.04 from what I remember. I don't know the exact price, but I think it's around that price, between $4 and 4 cents.
I mean, we've seen it as high as $6.88. I mean, I think that's a pretty good buy. Let me see what the low.
Yes, Planet 13 is another company that's been running. Guys are asking about Planet 13. They've been running. They're in the Vegas market. You got the most highly visited tourist destination in America, and you got cannabis, and you got Planet 13. It's just perfect. It works.
It's perfect product placement. I mean,
right?
I mean, a lot of people in the U.S. like smoke anyway. So when it becomes legal, I mean, it's just gonna put the revenue on the books, and we're gonna win.
But it's already legal in Vegas. It's legal in Vegas.
Oh, it is? I didn't even know it was. How about that?
Yeah, it's legal in Vegas, bro. So that's what I mean. So Planet 13 is already
Love it.
selling legally in Vegas, and it's legal there. So you can go to Vegas, travel there, and buy weed.
Yeah, and honestly, that makes it even bigger market
It's
with it
perfect.
not being legal everywhere else. It's like a vacation, and it's like people spend a lot of money on vacation, and that's a hot spot. So I think that's great.
Yeah, so MedMan is at $4.02 to be exact.
Yeah, I would say it's probably. Uh, is that Canadian dollars?
That's correct. So it's probably around $3 in the US.
Yeah, we're at 302 in the U.S. and
I'm waiting for them to do another dip. They have done dips, guys. Be careful chasing Planet 13. I wouldn't chase it. They do have big dips. So I would wait for a dip to buy it. But that's just me.
yeah, unless you're looking the long term hold, but I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you guys. I just don't like to chase green, right? Like when these guys are running, man, every time I chase green, I always feel like they pull back and then I get stuck. And I don't like that.
So another statistic I want to bring up is 59.3% of the U.S. population lives in an area where marijuana has been legalized. So that even where it's legal in the U.S. so far, like that's a pretty good amount of the U.S.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that high. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then 29 states, Washington, D.C., have medical marijuana laws. 19 have operating dispensaries. 8 states have recreational marijuana laws. And then they have 4 states with operating retail stores. So
So
I think that,
eight states with recreational marijuana laws. So that is really what we want. We want to get to that point where they're all recreational. That's what we have in Canada. So in Canada, everything is recreational. Everything is medical. Everything is open for dispensaries coast to coast. Just imagine how crazy that is. It just like it wasn't like, oh, we're gonna open up Ontario and then we're gonna open up Vancouver. It was like, no, we're opening up the whole fucking thing. But the one thing that they held back was CBDs, which is so weird.
so weird. It's so weird. But
It
that's another interesting thing too. CBDs are going to be a huge market.
it doesn't even have weed in it. It doesn't even have cannabis in it.
I know.
Like
Think
it's
about it.
like zero
Water.
percent cannabis. It's like 0% cannabis, like 98% CBD. 98.8%. Like almost no scent, smell, taste of cannabis whatsoever. You don't even know it exists in whatever you're eating,
Yeah,
drinking.
that's what I told you.
You know what I mean? Like I eat these gummy bears, CBDs, and they're amazing. They're like so amazing, and you don't taste any cannabis whatsoever. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's another big thing to watch for with in terms of the rumors with these stocks. I mean, I remember last year we were talking about, and I guess it's probably still being talked about, Aurora getting a beverage deal with the CBD. I think that's going to be a great, huge market because there's so many new studies and like things being posted that are like illuminating the effects of CBD oils and how like great and how much they can help like everyday people. And I think that's going to become a great industry, and I think that's very new too.
Oh,
So that's another great pharmaceutical alternative because I know a lot
yes.
of people are not a big fan of big pharma and not a big fan of all these narcotic medications that are like traditionally given for like symptoms of like diseases and stuff. So I think a lot of people would love to turn to CBDs, which creates a huge market, a massive market. And because like Rich said, I mean, you don't even taste them. I mean, you wouldn't even know. I mean, you can literally make like, there's like crazy stuff out there. There's like CBD water.
Yep.
There's like CBD everything. I'm sure you could probably buy like CBD pasta. Like if you can't already, you probably will be able to soon enough.
It's
I
gonna
mean,
get like that's why they're all getting into food, right? Like all these companies, like Village Farms, right, is a farm. Like it used to be a farm. It used to be like Village Farms used to be tomatoes, bro, and now it's all cannabis. Zenabis is a mini Village Farms, and they're doing the same thing. They're converting. I was talking about Village Farms when it was $5. It's at $20 now. It drives me nuts because it was the same thing. It was tomatoes. They converted to cannabis, and Zenabis is tomatoes, 3.5 million square feet that they're converting into cannabis. It's the exact same thing. And I'm sitting here watching this shit happen over and over again. It's like a trend, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, man, this is like becoming too crazy. Like it's so exciting to watch it happen. Because now that they're converting it into cannabis, what's to stop them to say, okay, now we're going to do cannabis and vegetables? We're going to do both. Now we're going to export vegetables with CBDs in them and cannabis. Like, think about the future of the food is going to have CBDs infused in them.
Oh my God.
And that's going to be healthy. That's going to be healthy as opposed to all the shit they're pumping in our food. They're going to be putting CBDs in our food. They're going to be putting CBDs in our drinks because it's boosting our immune systems, because our bodies produce CBDs. So because our bodies produce CBDs, when we take CBDs, it boosts us. It's a boost. As opposed to the shit that they're putting in the toxic shit they're putting in our food now. And the toxic shit they're putting in our drinks now. Like, this is the future, man. Like, this is so big, you know?
I mean, there's a huge push for it, too. There's a whole huge push for this veganism and this organic and everything. And this is just like another great market for it right here. I mean, it's perfect product placement. I mean, I believe that we're going to see, like, CBD restaurants open up. Like, where everything's CBD infused, like THC. Like, I just see... I mean, marijuana is like so big.
Yeah, it's huge.
Like it's so widely used and so all over the place. It's great.
I'll give you this example. So Canada used to be known as a resource country. And we used to pump billions of dollars into gold and mining and resource companies in Canada and oil and gas. I heard a statistic, I don't know if it's true, but I heard a statistic that said that only 100 million was invested in resource companies last year. And $4 billion was invested in cannabis companies in Canada last year. That is nuts. That means that 40 times more money got pumped by institutions and banks in Canada than resource companies. Like, that is a big number. 40 times more? 40 times more? And it's just getting started. Like, honestly, nobody gives a shit about resource companies now. Now, I watch them because I think different. I think, if nobody's watching them, that's the perfect time to do sneak attacks.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's why it's such a good time. I mean, some people know, like, here and there, but nobody really knows. And, like, people are like, oh, and, like, people are so old and traditional about marijuana, but, like, people are getting, like, their minds are getting changed. People are really starting to see these benefits and, like, how these are helping people's lives. And I think we're going to see, like, a huge increase in investments. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, we're seeing it already. So what's going to happen once it becomes like mainstream, like investment? This could be like bigger than the tech industry or just as big. It's crazy.
I think it's going to be bigger because like everybody smokes weed, bro, all over the world. Not everybody uses a computer.
That's true.
Right? So even poor people smoke weed from the beginning of days. It comes from the ground. You can grow it. So even the poor can grow weed now and smoke weed. So the poor can access weed, but they can't access a laptop.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that cannabis is going to be even bigger than the internet. So I think that Canopy Growth, Aurora Cannabis, Zenabis, Village Farms, Cureleaf, MedMan, these companies have the chance to be bigger than Facebook, Google, Amazon in 20 years. Because literally they can do what they're doing all over the world overnight. Because Aurora's already in 24 countries. They've only been in business for 4 years.
They're nuts.
They've been in business for 4 years. Aurora and Canopy Growth have been in business for like 4 to 5 years. You want to talk about how fast they're growing? They're in 24 countries, bro. They've been in business for 5 fucking years. It doesn't even make any sense. You can't even comprehend how big these guys are going to get. They're going to be in 100 countries.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Like, I mean, overnight, 100 countries, bang.
I would say the best part of cannabis, though, is the fact that it's a good that you're going to have to repurchase. It's not like the tech industry or like something else where like you buy a computer and like you're set for a couple of years. Like you buy weed, you smoke it, and now you got to buy more weed. And like people, and then like you turn your friends on the weed and like you have whole friend groups and you have like, it's more widespread. I mean like, and like with vitamins and CBD stuff, if you buy like CBD oils, you buy CBD vitamins, like eventually you're going to run out like sooner than later. You're going to have to keep buying more. Like you're going to have to keep buying and keep buying.
Exactly.
So people are going to, I mean, it's like the whole cigarette thing too. If you just got to keep buying.
Yeah, but cigarette sales are going down.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
everybody's smoking weed now. So this is what I'm trying to say. And so the tobacco companies are going to have to get into cannabis. And even the food companies are going to get into cannabis. And all the beverage companies are going to get into cannabis. So all these cannabis companies are going to get ginormous because now they're doing cannabis. They're doing, like you said, CBDs. They're doing hemp. They're doing foods. They're doing beverages. They're going to do clothing. CBDs is going to go into everything, bro. So it's going to be like hemp. They started using hemp for clothing. They started using hemp for pencils. You got hemp pens. You got hemp everything. And you know what else is really big? 3D printing. So guess what? Hemp 3D printing. So it's like everything. It's like in everything. It's in everything. It's huge.
Plus, it's a great alternative. I mean, I was looking at an article written about bottles that are made out of hemp or biodegradable, and like within like, I forgot the time frame, but it was like very short. I think it was within like 90 days of being like or it decomposed just completely. And like that's revolution. That solves a huge problem that we're having. Now, hold up.
Absolutely.
Hold up. Did you lose connection there?
No, we're here. We're here.
All right, yeah. So I think that it solves a huge problem that we're having, where we're having like things that aren't decomposing and like we're littering the planet. That's a big push right now. So I think that it's like the answer. It literally answers almost everything. It solves a lot of problems. And
you know, you're a young guy, and I'm trying to explain this to people, guys. It's not just stocks, eh?
No,
I have a media company focused on this industry. I'm buying and selling stocks, trying to benefit from this industry. I have a CBD company I'm building because of this industry, and opportunities are being generated every single day because of this industry. I remember going to the 420 event in 2005, 14 years ago, when it was a big thing, and now it's 100,000 people. It's 100,000 people, right? Like here in Vancouver, the 420 event, which is in 13 days, is 100,000 people. It's camera crews, media. It's like Woodstock, man. It's Woodstock, bro. And it's just everybody having fun. Police everywhere, okay, to protect the fun. And everyone's just getting high, bro. And it's a huge cloud of smoke all day. And there's like a stage. And Ill Kid performed last year on stage. He might be performing this year. And it's just like weed songs and music. And it's like a big hippie fest, bro. And they're giving away free weed. They throw it in the crowd. They're throwing away free weed. They're like, you just got to sit down and you can smoke all day for free. And they're throwing away free weed all day. So people are just grabbing joints and smoking free weed. And I have a video with the biggest joint at the event last year. I don't know if you saw it.
That was huge.
It was huge. It was the size of my body, bro. You had to hold it with two hands. You had to hold it with two hands. It was like a bazooka. It was huge. It was like this. They were holding it and bringing it around the crowd. I'm like, yo, this is nuts. And people are taking hauls off this thing. And it's like the size of their face. They're like, off the thing the size of their face, bro. Like, it was crazy, man. Like, I can't explain to you how crazy it's getting. And it's only going to get bigger. It's only going to get bigger.
All right, Serge. We'll see about that. I see you in the comments. All right. We'll see how that goes. But, yeah, Serge said, I'm teaching a 21-year-old to trade tonight. He's coming after you, Dylan. So we'll see about that.
And you know what? That's the beauty of this is
I hope we all win.
We have members that are now becoming like recognized, you know, like you. I'm sure, like, have anybody seen your videos that we've done? Like, have you got any, like, has that, I don't know, are people...
Feedback, yeah, especially in school and everything. I've been sharing it all around, kind of showing my teachers. My teachers know I'm the stock guy. They don't care what I do in class. I at least have, like, we can be like reading a book, and I got my computer out, and I'm sitting there staring at the screen.
Are your teachers asking you for picks though?
No, my teacher. Well, actually, I'm taking AP macroeconomics right now, and my teacher told me that he's gonna give me $1,000, and if I can return, or no, he's gonna give me $100. If I can return $1,000, he'll give me an A.
Buddy, do that. That is awesome. You know how cool that is? See, that alone, you should set up a YouTube channel and just talk about that to start your channel, bro. That is perfect. And say, I've got a challenge. I got $1,000 challenge. Set up your channel and say, I got $1,000 challenge from my teacher. I'm 18 years old. I'm a day trader. This is my story. And be like, I'm going to start with $100 and I'm going to see if I can turn it into 1,000. And I think you can do it. I think you can do it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think with all these RTOs in this industry, easy money. I think there's so many opportunities. It's an abundance of opportunities. I mean, like literally, I'm in and out of the market, and I take my profits, and I'm done. And like when I say I made this for the day, like I did, like I took my profits, I'm in and out of the market by like at the latest 10:30 every day.
And okay, so when you say you're in and out of the market, so you're a teenager, obviously you aren't making tons of money yet. So are you happy to make $30 on a trade, $50 on a trade? Like what is your goal?
My goal is 50 to 100. So as long my commissions are $4.95 per like weigh-in. So pretty much when I go in
and who are you using?
TD Ameritrade.
TD Ameritrade, $4.95. Yo, that's pretty good.
Well, it's supposed to be $6.95, but I spoke to a representative because I was actually going to switch to get a cheaper commission, but they were able to drop it for me. So if you do have TD Ameritrade, give them a call, let them know that somewhere else has a better rate, and they'll match it. But anyway, so it's about $10 a trade both ways. Now my account equity is obviously not high enough to become a pattern day trader. So I still have to watch. I think it's 3 day trades, 3 good faith day trades a week. Well, within a 5 business day rolling period. So like say I buy something and sell something the same day on Wednesday, then I'll have to wait till Wednesday to get that day trade back. So I can really only do like 3 day trades a week. So I would like to see like 50 or greater. Ideally, I would like to see like 100 to 200. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, you'll build up to that. But I think, as a teenager to make $50 on a trade, I mean,
yeah.
Like my son's 11, right? And he was helping me with my reno, and I gave him $100. And he was so excited with that $100. Like I didn't realize how much it meant to him, And like I didn't give it to him for a few days, and he was ragging on me, And he was like on me, and he's like he wanted the $100, right? So then I gave him the $100, right? And then after I gave him the $100, he was kind of like, Dad, I thought you were gonna dodge me, Like I thought you were gonna dodge me for this $100. And I laughed. I'm like, bro, like I don't think you get it, man. Like I make that like in a minute in the market. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm trying to show him like, you got to get into the stock market, kid. Like get off of Fortnite and get into the stock market. You know what I mean? I'm like, you want money? Let's get in the market. We can do this. I want him to learn the market, man. I'm serious. Like
everybody eats.
It's I don't know, man. I love the markets, bro. I love the markets. The markets are a rush, man. It's exciting. Yeah. Like every day I'm waking up at 6 a.m. and I'm like opening up the Telegram and I'm like, ooh, what goodies do I got?
I'll be in school and like I'm sitting there in like my first class, which is honors English, and I'll sit there and like we'll have computers out or something. Like I'll be on there and I'm like, damn, like what am I supposed to do with myself? Like I have like a whole hour till the market opens. Like literally when it hits like 9 o'clock, I'm literally just sitting there staring at my computer for 30 minutes straight, waiting for something to line up. I mean, cause like I love it. Cause then I mean it's a rush. You get in. You watch. I mean, like, there's nothing better than just watching your money keep like going up. Like once I buy in and I know like I bought in at a good price and I just watch it just like up.
Amazing.
I get happy. I see it. I'm like, all right. I'll set like once I see profit, I set a stop loss. I'm like, if it dips below, like say I bought a stock at $8. If it dips below, if it goes above 9, I set a stop loss. And I'm like, if it goes below, I'll take my profit. If not, then we'll let this baby ride. I watch it. And then I'll pull it out. I think stop loss is really important. And then I'll pull it out. And then you know what? My drive to work is that much better. Because I already made my money for the day.
That's the way I feel. Like if I can get in and out of a trade and make $1,000 and be done for the day, I'm like, how many people make $1,000 a day? And that's why like sometimes when people are up like 20 grand on a trade and they don't sell, I'm like, why are you not selling? You could buy a car with that. And that's the way my brain thinks, like if I buy a stock and it goes up enough for me to buy a car, I'm selling. I'm like smashing the sell button. And then people are like, yo, Rich, how do you know when to sell? I'm like, okay, I buy a stock. It goes up 20 grand. Then it goes down to 19. I'm selling. Then it goes down to 18. I'm selling. It's going to 17. I'm selling. It's going to 16. I'm selling. I'm hitting the panic going, sell, right? This is the way you got to think, right? Like That's the way I watch a stock, right? Like it's going up, it's going up, it's going down. Sell before it goes down more, right? Now sometimes like Zenabis, ZYNE, okay? It's been on fire all week. It's one that I made money on last week. I bought it. It went down on me for a whole week. I was down almost $1,000 on it. I waited. It went up. I made $1,000. I sold, and then it went up even way more. Where if I didn't sell, I would have made like $3,000, right? But at the end of the day, like, how are you supposed to know, right? Like, I remembered being down 1,000 on it, right? So I was very happy to make 1,000 after being down 1,000. If I didn't sell, I would have been up like 3,000. But how the hell was I supposed to know? I kept remembering the time I was down 1,000. I was just happy to get out because I was down on it. You know what I mean? So
I had a similar thing happen to me the other day, day trading. I mean, I bought into OPTT. They had news break, and it went up, and I bought in around, I think it was $7.98 was my average price. So I got in at $7.98, and then I rode it all the way to like 9, and that's where the example came from for the 9 stop loss, because I set a stop loss to 9. Usually I hadn't set a stop loss, and I ended up getting spread. So what I did was I set a stop loss, and it went up a little bit, went to 950. So I set it at 9. I was like, if it comes back down, then I'll take my money. And it went back down to 9. I took my money. I was like, let's go. I went to work. I was all happy. I pull out my phone. I check it. It was at $16.
Oh,
$16.
oh, the heart. The heart. Those ones hurt, bro. Those ones hurt. Those are the ones you're like, fuck.
Yeah. I just took $60, and I could have taken 600.
Yeah, that's the markets, though. But you know what? You did the right thing, because there's also going to be times where you're not going to sell, and it's going to go down. You're going to lose like 600.
Yeah, and that's what happened the day before. So after that lesson, I was like, ooh.
Because you know what? And you know what? I'd rather take a base hit than strike out.
Oh, yeah.
There's guys that just want to hit a home run on every single pitch, right? So
happen.
they strike out a lot. I'd rather be. I was always the hitter that, because I used to play baseball, and I was always the hitter that I used to get. I had like a 400 average in my high school team. I was the leadoff hitter, and I'd always hit the ball to right field, and I had a lot of singles and doubles. I was a spray hitter, and I used to do it all the time because my brain was like, it's always open on right field, so I'm gonna hit it over there. And I'd get a lot of hits, but I didn't hit a lot of home runs. And all the guys that were home run hitters, their averages were like 250. 230, because they're swinging for a home run every time. And my brain was thinking, well, you're only getting on base 50% of the time that I get on base. So I'd rather be on base because I'm scoring more runs, I'm getting more RBIs, I have a higher average, and I got to go walk back. If you strike out a lot, you got to go walk back to your dugout, and all your teammates are looking at you like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, why you keep striking out? Because you're trying to hit a home run every time. The stock market's the same way, man. I use that analogy, you know? Like, I don't mind taking $100 on a trade.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm playing with, like, right now in my account, I'm playing with 75K. So even if I take $100 on a trade, that's a tiny, minuscule percentage. You know, like 1%. Yeah, 1% on 75K is $750. So even if I make 1% on a trade, if I have my whole account right now on one stock, 1%, I would be happy to take that and make $750 and just be in and out. I'm not happy to take that 1%, the $750 a day. I'll take it. I'm good. You know? Because I want to protect my money more than anything else. I want to protect my equity.
You want to protect your capital, absolutely.
Right?
I think that's a good message to take.
And a good way to really, like, the way I'm thinking about trading now is I want to stay in cash and then take a portion of what I want to play with, like, let's say 10%. Let's say I put 60 grand or 70 grand. And when I say cash, my strategy is to put it in like Amazon. Let it just sit there. Amazon, Facebook, Google, Visa, MasterCard. Stocks that I know, their charts just go up.
Your long-term...
let it just sit there. Yeah, let it sit there because I know Amazon's going to keep making money, bro. So I'm just going to keep putting it there. That's my cash stock. And then let it sit there and grow. And while it's sitting there growing, I'm going to take 10%, let's say 7 grand. I'm going to say I'm going to day trade with the 7 grand. I'm just going to play with this. And the rest of the money, I'm putting it in Amazon. I'm putting it in Google. You know, because I know those companies are only going to get bigger because they're money-making pigs. They're piggy banks. They're just spitting money. And it's not going to stop. Exactly. So you put your money there as your, like, cash account. Or you could put it in cash and make nothing. I'd rather put it in Amazon. And then just take 10% and just day trade with that. And then wait for a crash And the next time there's a crash, then I take everything in my account that's in an Amazon and I put it all in, like an Aurora or like, you know, a T-God or, you know, like when the market crashes, like it did in October.
Yeah, which is, yeah. So when we saw legalization, we saw a huge crash.
Massive.
And it was because companies were trading at unreal. It was crazy. We had everyone was so overvalued. The market, it was ridiculous. I mean, we had Aurora at like $12 US, which I mean is like I don't know. It's overvalued at this point. I mean, in the future, definitely not. But right now, it was crazy. And it went all the way down to like 450 something. So I remember I made a video that I got stuck in it. I was stuck. So
yeah, I mean that's you know the market, and I say the market is not for the faint of heart. There's ups and downs and there's highs and lows. So when you have a community like we have, and we've built this Telegram community where everybody is working as a unit, I feel like it really helps us be better prepared. And then when you're going into the market, you feel like you're going in with a team. Like you got a whole bunch of people kind of like, hey, I'm buying this today, I'm buying that today. You're like, okay. You know, what am I going to buy today? You know, you kind of get a better feel for the market as opposed to going in there by yourself. It's like going to war by yourself. You're going to go into this huge battlefield by yourself. You're going to get slaughtered. But when you have a team and they're all like, okay, this stock is running 100% today, and this stock is on fire, and this stock is down today, oh, I'm buying this today, and this is up, and this is up, and you're just like, holy shit, and you're watching your level 2, and you're watching everything go up, you're like, okay, I'm going to buy this. Because you just feel the momentum of the community, you know, the power of that community, the momentum of the community. It's something different, man. I don't know. I can't explain it. You got to be in it to understand it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's a rush. There's nothing like it.
What time is it for you in the mornings? Like when the market opens?
9:30. It's perfect time.
So you don't have school at that time?
Well, I do school, but I'm in school. That's why I have my computer out. I just do.
Wow. So you're trading while you're in school.
Yeah, so that is probably not a great message. Don't skip your schoolwork to trade. But
yeah. I wouldn't, because no, you know, I'm gonna tell you what the problem is with that is that you could make mistakes. Not in school. I don't care about the school mistakes. I'm talking about trading mistakes.
Yeah, no, I make sure I give my undivided attention. I just don't even look at it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, because trading is one of those things, bro, and I've made these mistakes. When you're trying to do too many things at once, you make terrible mistakes. Like I bought this BLPG by mistake, bought $5,000 worth of it. And it's just a piece of shit. And I had to sell it. You know, I was like, fuck this. This is garbage. You know? And I sold it. I took a massive loss and I dumped it. I took what I had. I put in $7,000. It was worth $3,700. So I took my $3,700. I dumped it in. I dumped it into. You know, the one that we've been talking about, which everybody, you know, is giving. You know. Everyone's talking about it in the group chat right now because, you know, Sergio's, you know, got the belt and he brought the pick and it went up 100% and everybody wants to give him credit, GXXM. And it's just like, you know, like I took it and I said, okay, if it goes to a penny, I'll double my money and it'll right my wrong. I'll literally be able to right my wrong with one pick. And who knows, maybe as early as Monday. Or maybe it goes down on Monday because it went up 100% on Friday. That's possible too. I don't know what it's going to do. But I said, you know what? I'm willing to take a risk because they have a GXXM has a tight float, 1.3 million shares in the float. They make $8 million in revenue and the stock is trading at 004. To me, that's the trifecta.
Yeah.
Drop the mic. You know, mic drop. That's the trifecta. All right, my friend. Listen, man, we've been live for an hour. So I say it's time to go. I'm going to let you go. Enjoy your weekend. What's left of it. I'm going to enjoy mine. It's still early here. Early in the morning. But thank you for joining me. Do you have a request of a song you'd like to play before we leave?
I think we should hit it back with the naked trading.
You like the naked trading, eh?
I like that one.
Yeah, me too, man. It's tight. Shout out to Ill Kid. Hey guys, remember, Rich TV Live is strictly for education and entertainment purposes. Always do your due diligence. Always do your research before you invest in anything that we talk about here on Rich TV Live. If you're not winning, you're probably not watching. If you're not winning, you should join our Telegram group. There's about 755 members now. We are growing quickly, and we have a lot of people that are winning in that group, and we can hopefully help you learn how to trade better in there. We also have an academy. Shout out to Julian Lewis Trading. If you guys are looking for a coach, if you're looking for an academy to be a part of, if you're looking for a mentor, he's a mentor. He actually has a mentor program. Some of you are looking for me to be a mentor. I keep saying I'm not a mentor. Okay, I'm not. Rich TV Live is strictly for education and entertainment purposes. You can become a winner because you're willing to take a risk, and that's on you. And if you can win, hey man, I give all the credit and the glory to you guys, okay? And the winners are the people that are willing to be a part of this community and, learn and educate themselves and grow. And whether it's, you're growing by education, growing financially, or you're growing as a person, we just want to be a platform where we can provide that type of resource, where we can provide you with a platform where you can come every day and you can gain something from it, whatever it is. But one thing for sure is we want to create a platform where whether you're young, like Dylan, or you're older like me, like, you're in your 40s or in your 20s or you're in your 60s or you're in your 80s, we want to be a place where you can come and you can learn and you can have fun and you can make money. And I think it's cool that we're doing this collaboration because it shows that whether you're 18 or 41, you can gain something from this community. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
That's cool. All right, guys, have a great weekend. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Dylan, keep winning, bro. Do well in school, bro. And I wish you all the best of success with all your trading. Keep developing. I know you're going to be a huge success in everything you do in your future. And here we are with Naked Trading on the way out. We talked about a bunch of stocks that you guys should be watching. Hope you guys are watching. If you're not winning, you're not watching. If you haven't joined the Telegram, join the Telegram. I'll put the link in the group chat right now. And we traded naked. Let's go. Up and down, merry-go-round. Big boss, make a boss move. Get a check like I'm winning on a lawsuit. If you want to know the ticket, it'll cost you. Yeah, drop it off like a parcel. If you losing lots of money, put a sweater on. Hold it to your golden pot of coins like a leprechaun. Here is the link for Telegram, guys. Join the Telegram. Download Telegram on your phone. Follow the link. I just dropped it. And we out. Make sure you get naked. Let's go. We out. Peace.